Hello, good evening. I appear to making these later and later. What time did I do yesterday? I've also been losing track of time, so I don't think I did late yesterday now that I think about it, because I talked to my mom late yesterday. I don't know. Anyways, the time now is around 9 p.m. and I'm so sleepy. I want to go lay down and fall asleep right now. Well, for the past hour, I'm like, I've been wanting to just go to sleep, but I know I can't. Because if I go to sleep now, I'm gonna be wide awake like around 12 in the morning. My eye, jeez. Okay. Yesterday I said I was going to continue planning the rest of my month. Not the rest of my month, the month of April, so that I didn't take up any of April's time planning anything. I was just gonna be executing. And I don't know exactly what happened, but I didn't do that. I just don't really know where my time goes. I still haven't figured that out. Not all of it is spent slacking off, and I'm not like losing time as in like medically speaking, like uh, I don't think so. It kind of sounds like I am because I don't know. Anyways, it's just every time I start trying to like I sit down and try and plan these things out, I can't for a lot of them because like I said yesterday, it doesn't matter if I say I'm gonna do this one project this day. If I don't feel like doing it, I'm not gonna do it. Doesn't matter what I say or what I do. If I don't want to do it, I'm not gonna do it. But I am losing time in general to complete whatever it is that I wanted to do this. And I was hoping that it would come to me through the process of doing it. But now it's been 2 full months basically, and I still like the answer hasn't come to me on how to make this a career or am I getting messages though now? Or make money off of it or make, income, whatever. And so then what did I do today? I went to my dermatologist today, and then I was supposed to wait, see, so I scheduled live streaming before going to the dermatologist today around 3:30. So when I was supposed to be there. And so I just said stream for an hour before then. And I don't know exactly what happened for me not to do that. Let me see. Where should I put the lighting down? Where's my Google Calendar on here? Loading. Uh, Woke up late, like an hour late because I went to sleep late. Just song. Then took a shower. Didn't really get a chance to take my monthly photos. Like I take monthly update photos of my body and my face to keep track of progress. And I didn't I'm supposed to do it on the 1st of the month, but because I was gonna see my dermatologist today and I wanted to show her the before and after from when I first started seeing her a couple months ago till now. So I wanted to do that today instead of yesterday. However, this morning it was really downcast and raining and thundering. So that's what I actually did. Because it was raining, it was like nice. Then I started shooting content of like just the scenery of it raining outside my window and like in my living room. So I did that probably for like an hour, probably. I don't know. I'll have to like check the timestamps on the photos and videos I took. Okay, dermatologist. I walked there and I walked back. Oh, I picked up a Peaks on the way back that I should put away because I think I just left it out. Then rescheduled this live stream for 6 p.m. I don't know why I didn't do that. Oh, maybe because I started eating and then I started watching YouTube because when I eat, I have to watch something. And then I started watching live streams and then I just don't know how long they're gonna go on for. So then I just ended up watching them until like now. What was I doing during that time? Oh, I wasn't just like watching the live stream like full focus. I don't know what I was trying to say. I was painting this at the same time, so I've been continuing to work on this yesterday and today. I've almost finished the outline. I just have to do these two front legs, I think. I thought I had a burp. I guess not. I really like how my pretty aesthetic, expensive ladder looks. I think the problem is that even though I know what it is that I have to do, well, I don't know what I have to do. I know the easy stuff is to just continue creating, but how do you bridge the space between creating something and profiting financially off of it without like advertising yourself basically? That's where I'm struggling because I don't want to advertise myself more than I already am, the bare minimum. I don't know what kind of delusions I had of how this was going to work out, thinking somebody was just going to, or the right people were going to see, they're going to find me, the right people were going to find me, and I wouldn't need to deploy any cheesy sales tactics, advertising, social media, whatever, to get myself out there because there's a chance that I, people could like my art, but because I don't know how to manipulate the algorithm or whatever, I'm just not being seen. Or is my phone struggling to connect? Whatever. Or people are seeing me and my art is just not as good as I thought it was. Or just, ah, or it's just not profitable, whatever. Or I'm just not trying hard enough. I don't know. I don't know. So I did write a note down today or last night. I forget. Come on. Kind of pertaining to the same kind of topic. Hold on. About mediocrity. That's what I okay, what did I say? Mediocrity. What if you never make it? If your best will always just be beginner's luck, what if you always lose interest as soon as you gain the minimum proficiency considered slightly above average for a beginner, and then move on to the next thing before actually learning if you're good at that thing? This little snippet that I wrote down because it's something that's been on my mind a lot recently, and I don't know if I'm emotionally ready to get into it because it deals with underlining issues of me not feeling good enough in general, sufficient enough as a person, but trying to just apply it to the systems, the habits that I've noticed of myself. I don't know if I've talked about this before on live because I know I've gone through it in my head or written down somewhere. So now it's starting to feel like I've said this before to somebody, or I don't know. What my thoughts are whenever I start a new hobby or creative medium, like for example, I think the first was I want to say photography. I think right out of high school, I wanted to get into photography, saved money, bought a camera, and just started taking photos of everything and anything that I could. I wanted to do portraiture art, like fashion editorials, but that requires a lot of money, a lot of planning. But I put in the work, I put in the money. I reached out to girls on Instagram that I thought were pretty, and maybe they would say yes to modeling for me. I wouldn't really go for professional models because it's a whole more complicated thing, and I just didn't really like working with professional models in general. They're just not as easy to work with as normal girls. I don't know. However, that's not the point. Don't get off topic. Okay. Point is, so I started photography in like early 20s, and the first year or two, I was considered pretty good. So that's what I kept hearing people say, like, oh, like, be because I just started taking photos, a year or two ago. Yeah, my photography compared, as a novice, yeah, it was great. If I would continue to, grow and improve my photography, but I didn't feel like I was. And my photography teacher at the time, would tell me, "Oh, it's just because you're in a plateau right now, and eventually you'll get past it and you'll start seeing improvement again." But they couldn't give me a certain time frame on how long that plateau I was gonna be in, and I didn't have the patience to wait years, possibly for that. So I kinda just, like, gave up on it. I just said, "Okay, then I'm not good enough at it, this is as good as I'm gonna get." And it's just average, you know, mediocre proficiency at this, and I'm no longer considered good enough because I've been doing it for more than, 2 or 3 years because I'm no longer a beginner. So now it's like, okay, that's your average. So then I move on again Something else. Okay, that wasn't my thing, right? I think the next one was fashion design. I always been, kind of like designing. I had a sewing machine, so I would always sew stuff, even though I didn't really get like any like training for it, and I didn't know how to read sewing patterns. I would just like I don't know how to describe it, just like, sew pieces together until they look like a dress. And that was what I was doing also when I was doing photography because I didn't have money to like buy, these expensive, wardrobes. So I would just make stuff myself, put it on the girl, and then try and make a concept work. Anyways, so I thought, okay, well, I already have like a basic understanding of sewing and clothing construction. Let me go take some college classes about it and see if it's something that I'll like to pursue professionally. I took a couple classes. I think I did it maybe for like 2 years, like a community college. And I learned a lot, but I kind of started to like hate it because everything was very I want to wait until the siren passes. And also, I don't know what I was gonna say. It was very meticulous and like strict. Yeah. So like I said, I learned a lot, but then I started kind of hating the whole thing and also just kind of feeling like I wasn't getting better. Like again, they were really impressed with me in the beginning because I didn't have any initial training for sewing or anything. And I got to like move past like the beginner classes pretty quickly because I already had like a general idea of sewing and they were like impressed that I was able to make certain patterns without knowing the basics of like reading patterns. But again, after the, first year of learning, you're expected to keep improving, and I'm not. I I learned the basics and then I feel like, well, I'm basically done. I know enough to be proficient in it and have a general idea of it. I and then like my brain just like shuts off and then I'm no longer interested in it. Or I'm no maybe it's because I'm no longer being praised by it. But then why am I not being praised by it anywhere? Because I'm not getting better. And so this pattern keeps popping up with different things now with painting, and I'm sure with I've done with other creative things. I can't. There's like hair stuck in my throat. Okay. So I'm kind of stressed out for a lot of different reasons right now, mainly financial, money stuff. However, now I'm stressing out about realizing this pattern of mediocrity that I have and fearing that I'm never really going to stick with anything for whatever reason, but mainly because I'm never going to master any particular topic, genre, medium, whatever, hobby. Because I don't consider my creative outlets or whatever as hobbies because I would love to make them as professions. So I don't like using the word hobby. because I always want to make whatever I'm creative in, want to be able to make money off of it, as I want to be able to make a living off of it basically. But then I fear that if I'm making a living off my creative outlets or hobbies, then maybe I won't even like doing them anymore because I don't get to be creatively free as I was because I didn't have any um expectation or anything to refine me and like constrain me to certain rules or I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of getting a headache too. So I should be trying to organize and plan now instead of doing this. But here we are. And I still haven't figured out anything. Um, okay. And I also I didn't even finish any of the paintings again. I've left them all half finished. And I'm already starting other stuff. Oh, I did start me change camera. I started planning out my DIY for the ceiling light here. So I did do that today too. I don't know. Maybe I did that for like an hour while I was watching the live streams. So see, I'm not just doing nothing, but I do need to document everything because my memory, I'm realizing more and more every day how bad it is if I don't. Um, oh my God. The other thing I really wanted to get done, I didn't get anything done. I really wanted to post another long form YouTube video that's not the live streams. That's something I've edited and it's like concise and under like 20 minutes, like my intro video, but on like one topic that's not an intro, it's something else. I don't know. And I didn't do that. I didn't touch the live streams for the past week. And now it seems such a daunting task to do now that I'm moving into the next month and I have the whole month of March that I haven't even looked back on because I was been working on February. So I didn't do February. I think I should just cut that loose and maybe start March. But even then, March, February was supposed to be easy because I started in like mid-month, so I only had like 13 days that I live stream. March is 31 days. I did it for 31 days straight. If 13 days was too much for me, I don't think 31 days is anywhere near possible for me. But I also don't want to get into that headspace because I do have a habit to do better on harder tasks than easier things for some reason. O- Okay, I think I should cut this off for now and try and figure myself out and come back tomorrow. What is it called? Bright-eyed and bushy tail and organized and ready to go. but we know that's likely not gonna happen either. This this is me, this is my average, not my best, but not my worst. Pretty 50-50. Okay. To just kind of concise my goal for is that nice? Okay. I'm going okay, so the bigger goal of for April is to figure out how to monetize, how to make money out of where the fuck I've been doing for the past 2 months. Can't talk. I feel like I'm giving birth to a demon. Okay. And then from, trying to earn money in April, I need to come up with smaller tasks to get me to that bigger goal and so that I'm not overwhelmed. But I'm already overwhelmed because like I said, I don't know what those smaller tasks need to be, or I do and I don't want to do them. Fuck with my neighbors, like hammering right now. It's almost 10 p.m. It's almost 10 p.m. I need to start getting ready for bed. Okay. So I'm gonna try and spend the next 20 minutes or so to plan and organize. I know I'm probably not gonna be able to get it all done, but who knows? Who knows? Maybe. Maybe I'll surprise myself because, I do all my best work last minute and under pressure. Okay. Well, I'm gonna call it really for real this time. And yeah, I'll talk to you tomorrow. All right. Love you. Bye.